Over the last year and a half, last season and a half, he's had one foot in the grave, the other on the banana peel. He's been miserable. The only time we saw Steph Curry smile and play with joy was when he was in the Olympics. Then all of a sudden you get Jimmy Butler, and now he has that hope again. He has that belief again that he actually could go out there and compete at a high level with all the elite teams around the league. Do you know what that does for someone? It did the same thing when Danny Ainge said, you know what, I'm going to go trade for a Ray Allen and a Kevin Garnett. You know what it do? It ups your game, it ups your spirits, it make you want to come to work every day, it make you want to go out there and compete at a high level because now you have a bona fide number two. You have a bona fide number two in Jimmy Butler that also wants to win, that's also signed a contract extension when he got there. So now all of a sudden he has hope.
You know, crazily enough, I do agree with Kendrick Perkins. Watching the first 52-ish games before Jimmy Butler, it looked like there was little to no joy in that Warriors organization. Like, every once in a while you see a little happiness, but since Jimmy Butler has got there, not only have the stats improved, their records improved, everything has improved, morality, how everyone's feeling. You can see it on their faces, you can see it on the court. Another thing that I want to focus on is the stats behind it, how Jimmy Butler has been affecting all the players around him, not just Steph Curry, but also players like Draymond Green, Brandon Podziemski, Moses Moody, also players like Quentin Post, who's had an insane stretch of games since Jimmy has got to the team. Also, their free throw troubles, how those have changed, and a couple more things on top of that. The first thing that I want to talk about is just the insane jump in productivity from the entire team before Jimmy and now after getting Jimmy. I'll throw a graphic on the screen that I saw posted by the NBA. Before acquiring Jimmy, they were below 500. They were the 20th ranked team in terms of points, 9th in assists, 9th in steals, 10th in defensive rating, and 10th in opponents' points per game. Now looking at after acquiring Jimmy Butler, they've got a 7-1 record, which is just an insane record across the league. They have one of the best last 10 games in the league. On top of that, they're now ranked 6th in points per game, which is 14 jumps in terms of their placing. They're the first in assists and second in steals now. So they're not only is their offense getting a huge jump from getting Jimmy Butler, but their defense is getting an insane jump. You look at their opponent's points per game, it drops from 100 and about 12 points per game to 106, so a 6-point drop. And then their defensive rating went from 10th to first in the entire league, just from acquiring one player. And that's not saying that Jimmy is just this defensive powerhouse that is just carrying the Warriors to that first spot. It's the energy, what he brings to the floor every single night. It carries over and it feeds into, you see Steph Curry playing defense, you see Draymond Green, already a great defender, playing way better defense. Brandon Podziemski, Quentin Post has become a way better defender coming out of college, and his first couple of games you call him a cone. He can't really play defense. His last couple of games he's been great on defense, being able to stay with his guy. It's just that energy. You see their energy on their face every night, and it's all from Jimmy Butler. Looking at some stats before this video and trying to collect as much as I could, and looking at it based on the starting five that the Warriors normally run out with, I went with Curry, Pods, Draymond, Jimmy, and Quentin Post, just as a base five. Starting at the one, Curry has jumped from 22.9 points per game to 30.6 points per game since acquiring Jimmy Butler, which is insane to think about because Curry is such a crazy shot creator, and he's able to create his own shot, but having Jimmy Butler creates so much gravity. Curry has not played with another star like this since Kevin Durant that pulls two defenders with him and leaves Curry open and free to do what he wants. There's a lot of times that we've seen since Jimmy Butler's got there where Curry's been able to ISO and not get a double team immediately thrown at him. He's able to get a screen and just take his defender one-on-one, and we've seen that a lot with some of the crazy games he's had, like that 56-point performance. Teams aren't so willing to double anymore because they know that they've got another guy that can hurt them. And also, since getting Jimmy, everyone's become a weapon, including guys like Brandon Podziemski, who through the first couple games of the year, first 50-ish games of the year, they were looking at like his first season was going to be his peak. There's no place for him to go, and he's kind of fallen off a cliff, which through the first couple games and the beginning of the season, he only averaged 9 points per game. But after getting Jimmy, he's pushed his average to 13 points per game, 6 rebounds, and almost 5 assists. So it's just instilled so much confidence in the young guys to be able to do what they want and be able to be confident with everything that they do. Another guy that's shown that a lot, another young guy, is Quentin Post, who before Jimmy, I mean, he was having a great rookie season for someone who was like the 56th overall pick in the draft. Shouldn't even be playing, especially with Steve Kerr as a coach. But he went from 7 points per game to 10 points per game since Jimmy's been there. And you can just see every night Quentin Post has that fire. He's ready to go. He's ready to go at the other team center. He's just ready to get down and dirty with anyone. Speaking of getting down and dirty with anyone, there's Draymond Green, who, you know, he's had quite a few downs lately, not very many ups. There was that clip of Curry crying the other year, and just he seemed completely out of control. But it seems like he's kept him in check. Like, they're always on the same page. They're always communicating. He feels like someone he can bounce ideas off of besides Steph Curry, someone that'll match his energy. And on top of that, Draymond has become a way better scorer since Jimmy's got there. He went from averaging 8.5 points per game to now he's averaging 10.5, 6 assists, and almost 6 rebounds a game, which isn't prime Draymond Green numbers, but I mean, it's the best you're going to get out of 34-year-old Draymond Green. Another thing that I want to segue into is their free throws. Since getting Jimmy Butler, I was thinking like, okay, we got Jimmy shooting a lot of free throws, but I mean, how much is that really going to bring the team up, like in terms of their free throws per game? But to my surprise, before getting Jimmy Butler, they were in the bottom 3 of the league with free throws attempts per game, only behind the Hornets and the Chicago Bulls, 2 of the worst teams in the entire NBA, with just 20.5 free throws per game. And then after getting Jimmy Butler, they're a top 5 free throw shooting team at 23, which it only increases it by about 3 free throws per game. But now they're in the top 5 of the free throws, and all of a sudden they're winning games, and it's shifting momentum. Like, free throws aren't just about getting points on the board. There's times where it stops an opponent's run that they're going on. It kills momentum in a way where you don't have to burn a timeout. It's just getting to the free throw line, calming your guys down, and that's shown to be a big part of the Warriors succeeding. The next thing to look at with the Warriors season is if they're actually going to make the playoffs or if they're going to sneak in as a play-in team. But looking at the strength of schedule, the Warriors have the 11th easiest strength left. And looking at that, the way that the Warriors have been rolling, the teams that they're playing the Hornets, the Nets. They do have to play the Knicks soon, but they have an insanely easy schedule, a lot of time to gain momentum. And I mean, they have no expectations. They have nothing to prove. They're just playing basketball. They traded for Jimmy as a one last effort. There's a chance. I believe that they have a very high chance at making it to the championship, at least making it to the Western Conference Finals. And I guarantee you no team wants to see the Warriors. They've beat OKC in all their matchups this year. They beat the Celtics one time this year. There's a lot of teams that they show up to play, and no team wants to see the Warriors in a 7-game series. If you made it to this point in the video, I greatly appreciate it. If you guys could drop a subscribe and a like. That would also be greatly appreciated. I'm sorry about the mic quality. Currently, I'm sitting in my dorm room, so if there's an echo, that's why. I'm also recording on a laptop with no microphone, no special equipment. This is just me talking to my computer. But thank you guys for watching, and if you want more, leave a comment down below and tell me what you want to see next.